And I think this is a brilliant kind of card to get you started. Now, with your edgeables, they all work in a really special way. And the great thing is, once you've learnt the basics with this card, you could do this with any one of our edgeables at all, okay? Now, if I show you that edgeable, and I've tried to pick, because these are starter kits, Joe, to get you going on something, right? I've tried to pick designs that are so usable, like a thank you with the words in, so many occasions, and then the balloons, again, anniversaries, birthday parties, kids, older people, everybody's sorted, all right? Now, for any one of you, for sort of the brand new people out there who don't know anything about edgeables, let me show you how our edgeables work, okay? Because the idea is, here and here you can see where the cutting line starts. All underneath here cuts out, however, everything around the top doesn't. So everything around the top stays connected in your card, Joe. That is the really clever thing about how these all work. Now, I've just noticed with that one there, last time we had it out, we didn't pop the little bits out. So you just want to make sure all these little bits are popped out before you started. And what I'm going to do is to start with that very basic card, I'm just taking, so I've got a piece of card here, and we're going to do it, can you see, over the top of the card here. So we're going to cut it into the card. So this part here, I'm going to essentially cut the thank you into here, and I want this to all come away. So what you've got here is when I place this on the front there, and you can place it however far down you want, okay, but we place that on the front, from here to here is going to cut away. The thank you is going to stay connected. That's the whole trick behind how it works. Now, top tip, Joe, when you're using this, okay, I want you to hold this in place with a little bit of tape. Remember what I said, that this part's staying connected, so the part that is coming away is the part where you will want to apply the tape. And now I can take that and we can put that through your machine. Now, going right back to basics for anybody completely new, your sandwich that you're going to use is you're going to use this cut into your base plate. Then you're going to go with your clear, you're going to add in your magnetic, and you're going to add in your other top plate on here as well. And all of these dies we do at just less than 6 inches. And the reason we do them at just less than 6 inches is one of the most popular card sizes is your 6x6, like the one that we're doing here. But also it's going to work nicely on the side of a card. If you use your A4 cardstock to fold over, that's just less than 6 inches. So we make them that little bit just less. So can you see, we get this all cut out. Now, if you ever get this, can you see where just needs a little bit more cutting detail in the middle, right? All you're going to do at that stage, you're going to say, right, this is quite an intricate die. I'm going to add in my metal shim. So when you add your metal shim, you can either, watch this is clever this, wrap your card around the metal shim like this, okay? Or you can do it, because it's wide enough to go in, you could put it in like that. So because that's a little bit tight, I'm going to wrap mine around with this one. And it's just a great little tip that for if you're ever using cards like this. You know, you ever want to do a long thin card and you're doing your Gemini Junior.
Is it safe to say, so that once you've mastered a technique with one edgeable, you can pretty much roll that out to all the other edgeables that we have available?
What I love is every edgeable works on every card, so they're all interchangeable. So this one card you can do, you could do this with every one of the edgeables. If you love the thank you that we've done here, for example, so if you have a look now, look, that has now cut an absolute dream, and we've protected the back of the cardstock. So that's how that kind of works there. So, but yes, Joe, you could take any one of these edgeable designs and interchange them with any one of the cards that I teach you, either on today's masterclass or on any other masterclass that we've done. Now, look at these here. All these little pieces are just going to pop out, but you can see how beautifully well that's cut and just how intricate that design is there. I mean, look how fabulous this looks. It's really delicate.
I love that. Really, really love it. These have been so popular as well. It's great that we've been able to include this die in this special offer, Sara, because I know how popular these modern word edgeables have been. Ange says, I love, love, love my edgeables. So versatile, makes my card look so fancy. Love that word, so fancy.
Right, are you ready to see how I'm going to kind of put the card together now?
Oh, yes, please.
This piece here that we've cut off Don't worry, because what you can do is you can actually use that. I've cut myself a little strip that came off the bottom, but I have cut a strip the same width as the card. Because watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a piece of acetate that I've cut to the same size. I'm going to use my dotty tape pen and my straight pen interchangeably. So can you see? I'm using the dotty tape pen behind these flowers here, right? And behind my thank you. I'm just seeing I've got the tiny little bit there still. And then I'm going to use the straight tape pen, Joe, all along this part here. Can you see? So we've got plenty in there. Now, if I take that where's the acetate gone? Here it is, right? I'm going to put this into place here. That is all lined up there. Then I've got that all stuck in perfectly, right? So once you've got that in place, what you can then do is take this and stick this at the bottom, Joe, and I'm using the straight tape pen here just to give it that extra little bit of strength. Because if we watch here, right, if we stand this up, yes, you've got the illusion and you've got the floating card. Actually, that's standing pretty well there because I've used a little bit of construction acetate. But if you want to kind of ground it and give it a little bit at the bottom, all I do is I then stick another piece of card across the bottom there like this, right? So that now gives it that little bit of strength. So now we have a gap in the middle as opposed to, and it's a little bit easier if you see it from the front. So you've got a gap in the middle there instead of having the kind of whole floating aspect.
Awesome. So, Pamela asks, has anyone ever thought about layering or stacking the edgeables?
Oh, I've seen some fabulous cards done like that. That's a brilliant idea.
Awesome.
I was trying to keep these quite simple today just because a lot of our new viewers kind of just wanted somewhere nice and easy to start. So I've got my nice basic card done there. Just to let you know what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to just take a little bit of ribbon and wrap this around. So a little bit of ribbon's kind of just going to wrap around the top bit here. All right. Oh, I didn't bend that there. It's all right. We'll stick that back into place. So that'll wrap around, Joe. And then this here will just pop into place across the top of there. Can you see? So we've got that in place there, and then I've tied a nice little bow. And the best thing to stick your bow down with is always a little bit of your hot glue.
Fabulous.
And then while I'm hot gluing it, I'm going to put some tiny little spots into some of these and just put on a couple of little gems to kind of finish this off, Joe.
Kay says, Joe, you sounded like you were straight from the south when you said, fancy, you can be an honorary southerner. That means a lot. I'd love to be from the south. Can you imagine all that soul food and good music, Sara? Yes, please. The south, yeah, the southern states is what we're saying. Mary says, Mary's a newbie. So hi, newbie Mary.
Yay! This is what I mean. Weekend. We get loads of newbies on a weekend.
We love you. All of the newbies out there, we love you. Where are you watching from, Mary? I'd love to know. She says, could you also use a printed acetate if you wanted to, Sara?
Yes, absolutely. So if you want to use the printable acetate, just bear in mind it's not quite as strong as what the construction acetate is. That's why we have different acetates for different reasons, as it was. So I would just suggest definitely using your printable acetate, but you definitely want that base on there to give it a little bit. Now, how quick and easy was that? If you are a complete newbie, you just need a couple of our edgeables. Now, I'm going to come back later in the show and teach you. So that's up in the middle of a card. This one is if you want to go up the side of a card. So what I'll do is I'll teach you that technique when we come back a little bit later. And remember, I have done several masterclasses on our edgeable designs. So once you've got this starter kit, everything you need to get going, once you've got that home, then you can come back and you can watch all of the other techniques and tutorials we've done.
Awesome. Coney's asking, Sara, I've always wondered if in the sandwich order, can I put the cutting die face up on the magnetic shim so it holds the die in place? Will it damage the magnetic shim?
Do you know what? Bless you. So that is how we're supposed to use it. If you look in the instructions, that is how the instructions tell you to use it. The reason I always do it the other way is watch, if we're doing it like this, right? And I put this on there to hold it. You put your cardstock on or whatever, and then we put the top lid on, you can't see the die anymore. So the only reason I do it the way I do is because I'm so used to doing it so that you guys can see live on TV, oh, I lie this down, you can see where the die goes. So literally, we only do it this way so that you can see a little bit easier. The problem is, Joe, I'm so used to doing these for the camera, that when I do these at home, I now do it the way that we do it for the camera. Not the way that you would do it in the instruction booklet, if that makes sense. Either way, as long as you are cutting, as long as the cutting mark, once it's gone through the card, goes into one of these outer plates or the metal shim. What you never want to do is you never want to put it so that it's cutting into the metal shim, because if you do that, you will cut the magnetic mat. Right, so you always have the cutting back going into these ones here, these or your metal one.
When using the balloon die on the left side of the card, i.e. on a diorama, how do you get a neat finish as they are designed to the right hand side, embossed detail, would the left be debossed? I don't understand that, I hope you do.
Oh yes, so basically all of our edgeables are designed to cut down the right hand side of your card, because obviously the card opens that way. So what I would say is, if you're ever doing this and you want them to be on the other side, you basically need to do, so can you see, you need to make the card inside out.
Right.
So you need to make your card inside out, and then they're on the other side now. But can you see, they're asking, would it look dodgy debossed? Well, I don't think that looks too debossed dodgy.
I can't see any difference there.
No, so where was you? So you just make the card basically and turn it inside out. On demo of
okay,
right?
Brilliant.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a nice, quick and simple one back to the edgeables, right? So I'm getting out the happy birthday. Now, as per the request, so we had a request in from Penny Rendell. She was saying, can I show you how to paper piece the balloon? So the demo that I got ready to show you on the show was going to be this super simple one. However, if you were watching earlier, I showed everybody how you could foil. So we've actually foiled all of these balloons to go on the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to use a piece of acetate. I managed to find a piece of acetate. So we're going to make this card, we're going to stick the acetate behind, and we're going to piece in the balloons as well. I love doing crafting on the fly in these shows, as it was, right? So here we go. I've just got a piece of regular piece of card, folded in half. This could be one of your ready-made card blanks out of one of your kits if you wanted, Joe. Remember what I said to you with the edgeables is they've got an outside cutting edge, so it's going to cut on this outside, stay connected here. So you can see it starts there and stops here. I'm just going to take that tiny little bit out there, that's right.
I've just got a comment in, Sara, and it's actually made me quite emotional. Veronica's messaging. She says that she has a son, her son Nathan, who's 5 years old, and he's mostly non-verbal, Sara. Right. However, he's just asked his mum Veronica if she'll get my later show up on the tablet for him so he can watch it later tonight.
Oh,
how lovely is that? Honestly,
Joe, you better be good. You better be good now, is all I can say.
Is he asking that because he wants to see me burn myself on the glue gun in the iron, though?
Well, that could be quite likely, but that is...
We could have invented slapstick crafting, Sara.
Do you know, my boys will be watching you at 7 o'clock
Oh, will
tonight.
they? Fabulous.
Yeah.
How lovely is that, though? So lovely. So pleased. Thank you, Monica.
He's under pressure now. He's under pressure now. I can't wait. I can't wait to see. Is it really bad that I'm kind of hoping that he messes up in a big way and then we can cut it out for the bloopers and play it in all
I think it's going to happen. I think it's a foregone conclusion, Sara, is what it is.
In fact, I might text somebody and have them on standby ready to cut bits out of that show to play on Craig's wake-up call on Monday. Not that I'm expecting you to mess up at all, Joe.
we will see.
Right, so are you ready? All I'm doing is taking all of that out now, Joe. So we've now got, now these are what you would keep and go and foil. We've obviously already foiled ours. Watch what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this behind. You must use the dotty tape pen when you're sticking all this sort of stuff.
Otherwise you'll get, I wouldn't call them this, but some people call them glue bogies.
You'd be calling this what?
Glue bogies.
Glue bogies, yeah.
This is what you get. No, I wouldn't call them that, but some people call them that.
Some people do call them, oh, that one, right to the end of the tape pen. Tell you what, it's a good job we sell tape pens now, sometimes on offer a whole box at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know so many of our customers go through them at a pace of knots, just like we do. Right, where have I put that acetate? Here it is, right? So I'm going to pop this in place. I'm going to stick this down there like that, so that that is perfectly stuck all into there, right? And then what I'm going to do, oh, I've stuck that behind, right? So that's why you're going to leave that. By the way, if you ever get that, do you notice I'm a little bit obsessive at always cleaning the...
You love it, don't you?
Every time they cut away to me, I'm doing another clean on my my glass mat. I am a bit terrible for it. Right, here we go. Because I don't like to get glue stuck all over. And I'm going to trim this down here. That is going to trim right to the very, very top of there, right? So we've got this here now. I'm going to pop into place, so I've just got some little bits of card that I'm going to pop on the front here, Joe. Is that going to fit, or I might have cut it a little bit tight? Let's have a look. No, you're fitting all right there. Perfect. So I'm just going to do this and then wrap a little bit of ribbon around. As long as everyone can see what I'm doing, Joe, I'm happy to take questions while we're live.
Well, Teresa has said, do you, the Ultimate Pro that we're going to be featuring in the Craft House show with the lovely PPE Pam, Teresa says, is it going to be the UK or the US version, Sara?
So I am featuring the UK version in this one. We can absolutely, I've done a masterclass on the US version, which we did in birthday. Well, I did it on both versions here. However, lots of people at the moment have been getting hold of the UK version, Joe, because they've been buying so much of our A4 cardstock. So I thought I'd do all the masterclass with the UK sizing so that anybody who's really wanting to understand why, you know, if you've already got the US version, why might you want to buy the UK version? We will be covering all of that live in the show today.
Fantastic. Make sure you join us for that. About an hour and 15 minutes time, we'll be up with that show. Lots of you already been shopping ahead, is what I'm hearing. Is this your fabulous bow trick again?
This is my trick. So look at this.
This is my favourite thing that happened last week, this.
So, did you know, I stuck that round, didn't stick it on the front, and then if you get another piece of the ribbon and tie this other ribbon around there and pull it tight, right, you end up with a really nice bow on the front here. And I'm going to just cut these now.
I'm going to do this on my presents when I wrap gifts, you know, rather than trying to do it, because you use such a smaller amount of ribbon, don't you? It makes so much sense.
Yeah, and also, I don't know about you, but I always used to get really frustrated that when I wrapped it round and tied it, didn't tie as nice. And that looks great. And then I'm going to pop my little birthday wishes just under here like this, right? So that's going to go under there, as though I've tied that round, create that faux kind of effect as it was, right? Now, into here then, all I'm going to do is tacky glue, decant it into a little one of these, and you're going to put your tacky glue and put plenty of tacky glue into these. Now, someone was saying, can't remember, they said it doesn't look very, very good from the back when they finish. So this is how you do it. You basically use tacky glue, because tacky glue is going to dry completely clear. And because they're large areas, notice that I took the fine tip applicator off my tacky glue, just use it like that. And then I'm going to piece these in, Joe, ever so carefully, but the tacky glue will give me that manoeuvrability to piece them perfectly into place.
Lots of people requesting that you post your fudge recipe on the Crafter's Companion blog, Sara.
Well, listen, right? Here's the thing. I used to do a fudge, and I've posted my fudge recipe several times in the past, right? You can go up and you can find it. It's on my Facebook page, on my Instagram, right? If I'm being totally honest, Joe, relatively recently, Chris from the cafe came with some fudge, and I thought it tasted nicer than my fudge.
Oh, have you switched up the recipe?
So I've switched up recipes, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to say what the recipe is, because it's so easy.
Oh,
it's
come on, we need to know.
And then you won't think, right? Do you want me to walk you through it?
Yes, please.
So, you get a tin of condensed milk, right? Love condensed milk. Into the microwave for 2 minutes.
In the microwave?
Well, don't put the tin in. Decant it into like a bowl.
In the microwave.
Put it in the microwave, right? Then, take it out, it's nice and warm. 2 bars of 100-gram white chocolate and a Terry's white chocolate orange, right? Break it all up, put it in. Just keep stirring it for about 3 minutes, right? And the chocolate melts in the condensed milk. Pour it into the dish and let it set.
No!
That's it.
What? Yeah. Hang on, you've blown my mind,
I know.
Sara.
And this is why I was a bit embarrassed to tell everybody what it was.
Microwave fudge!
Microwave fudge. That's what you've been eating. I mean, literally, we could make this at work, Joe. It's that easy, right?
But
so
also it's quite low sugar as well.
It's quite low sugar.
Well, because you normally
it's only got 3 bars of chocolate and a tin of condensed milk. Hardly any sugar at all.
But you'd normally add a load of brown sugar into it too, wouldn't you?
Yes, yeah, I would normally add a load of brown sugar. I mean, there is loads of sugar.
Just little wins there, little wins.
Yeah. So that is literally, that is it. And I've also done it with dark Terry's. I bought loads of the Terry's white chocolate oranges at Christmas, right? I've got a stash of them in the pantry. And then also I've done it with like the regular Terry's chocolate oranges and 2 bars of milk chocolate.
Have you experimented with a bit of Bailey's in there yet?
Well, so I did, right? And all that happened is it didn't set.
A bit wet.
So I now need to work out, I now need to fudge it a little bit.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. So I now need to fudge it a little bit to work out how much more chocolate I need to put in to get the to kind of make up for the fact that the Baileys
Maybe you need
is a
to
bit
reduce the Baileys down a bit in a pan. That might make it a bit easier as well.
That's not a bad idea, because the thing is, you could say, well, just don't put as much Baileys in, but then it's not as fun.
That's not the point,
Right?
is it?
So yes, honestly, that is absolutely so easy to do. Right?
You've blown my mind. If that's all you take away from our shows this week, I mean, that's a life hack.
It's been
right
a successful show. It's been a successful show. I feel like I've given away my top secret here, though, Joe. Like I'm a little bit gutted. So now when I make fudge, and it's like, so now you're not thinking I've slaved over a stove.
Oh.
But I will add, I just added the fudge so that my little display of stuff that I brought in, Joe, looked a little bit more, because there was fudge and chocolate brownies and also the banana and chocolate cakes. Because I hide banana in them so the kids eat more bananas. Good. And then we've also got the flapjack. So basically I had a nice little platter.
You need to
calories.
Pop yourself over to my Facebook page.